Our merchandise is now available in our store. You can get playmats, sleeves, dice, coins, and tokens. Right now until the end of January, get 10% off of your order when you enter Mox Masters January at checkout. All sales go to help the channel, so thank you all very much. Playing with Power is excited to announce the first annual Mox Masters Invitational coming in Q3 of 2023. It is an in-person cedh tournament weekend with thousands of dollars in prizes. How do you get to the Invitational? By winning Mox Masters points through your tournaments this year. We award points to the top 32 spots in our tournaments. With enough points, you get an automatic qualification to the Q3 event. Want to go but don't feel ready to participate in Mox Masters? Want to prepare for the Mox Masters tournament themselves? Our webcam Discord League awards Mox Masters points as well. If you subscribe to our Patreon at any tier, you get an automatic entry into our monthly webcam leagues. We award points to the top 10 of the leagues every month. January's registration is already open and there are still some tickets left. You can also sign up to our Patreon and start playing in the league right now. Thank you all for your support, and we will see you at the tournament. We have recently revamped our Patreon, adding a ton of new perks. We are introducing Patreon webcam playdays. Once per month, we will be hosting a playdate on our Discord playing webcam games with all of our patrons. All tiers qualify. We are introducing Patreon exclusive gameplay videos as well. These videos are not available to the public and only for patrons. We are also introducing a new merchandise tier. When you sign up to this tier, you'll receive a merchandise bundle with all kinds of Playing with Power goodies. This revamp is in order to give more to those who already support us. Thank you all very much for your support and sign up today.
Oh, bro, I want to keep this hand so bad.
Alrighty. Well, welcome back to the Mox Masters January 2023 tournament. We are back for round two. Round two is going to be really exciting. We have some really great players that we're planning on showcasing for round two, and some really exciting decks and really exciting games. Round one was a grind fest from the spectating side. Here on stream, we had an amazing game that was won by Alex Accepted at the bell, right?
At the buzzer with Underworld Breach, the last second that they could win it.
Yeah, so absolutely like riveting game one. There we go. That's a good word.
That is a good word.
Is there any way for us to spectate friends who are competing, Captain Biffkin? No, absolutely not.
No, can't.
No,
I just
you can
said
request
that to you in a DM that I responded to. So
you can
don't ask mom because dad said no. Okay.
You can ask us in chat here if there's certain players that you want us to showcase, and there's an opportunity where maybe we can put them on a feature match. But other than that, there's no way to spectate friends that are playing currently.
Yeah.
It looks like Finn might have knocked Zane's camera out the way.
Common Finn L.
Yeah, we have Sadnaz MTG in the chat saying, "03 big fan."
All right, Kian.
Sadnaz, thank you for the support.
You're wearing the jersey today and they're roasting you.
I know. Imagine that.
At the top of the broadcast, I think it is important to mention it. Well, at the top of this round, it's important to mention a couple things. Number one, on the Playing with Power website, you can get 10% off your purchases until the end of January using code MOXMastersJanuary. Secondly, there's new revamped Patreon tiers, and when you sign up and become a patron, you get access to the Playing with Power League, which is where you can earn points towards Mox Masters Invitational entry, which is a Q3 tournament. Tournament happening in Q3, a cedh tournament. You can get points either through Mox Masters events or through the Playing with Power League. So if you're interested in an amazing in-person invitational tournament, please go to Patreon and sign up. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So we have a few chatters in the chat. We have Chaotic Sparks saying, "Can you showcase Young God?" Well, we will be showcasing Young God this game. We have a huge lineup for you. We have Kai, the Fervent Alchemist. You may know him from originally Founders Club, one of the larger Discord communities for cedh, and now making the Spell Seekers and
Fervent Alchemist on YouTube.
Yeah, Fervent Alchemist on YouTube. We have Z-Rob Zane. He is
he's just a coder.
Just a coder.
Yeah, with a good eminence record, 6-6-0.
Ooh,
50% win rate.
50% win rate. That's insane. Then we have young Scipio, who Cat Express in the chat referred to as Young God.
Young God.
Young Scipio is also a really well-rounded tournament player with lots of top 16s. And then we have finally going forth, we have Fonzie from Mythics Gaming. Fonzie, an amazing graphic designer, super into making merch for EDH and cedh. Playing something surprising.
Fonzie playing Kinnan. Fonzie normally the Crick God, but instead we're playing a little Kinnan.
Playing a little two-color today, no monocolored stuff. I know that Fonzie's been talking recently with a lot of players about the limitations and narrowness of playing monocolored decks in cedh.
Yeah.
So maybe we're exploring a little bit, kind of going outside our comfort zone, adding another color to a monocolored strategy, right? I mean, what's better than one color? Two,
And
right?
it's funny because a lot of people would associate Crick players with like Burr go fast. But Fonzie is a really good cedh head. I know I did some brewing with Fonzie on Razzacats like 2.0 that we were trying to develop. And Fonzie has a great head for brewing and a great head for the game. And he's not just a Crick go Burr, very fast player. He's a very well-rounded player who makes some crazy plays even with the constraints of mono black. So to see him on Kinnan, I think it's going to be pretty sick.
I mean, for people that don't know, for people that don't know Fonzie, he was at Silicon Dynasty, and if you saw him in person, you know that he always wears a hat because he tries to cover up his big five head for how smart he is.
And so we're live in gameplay. It looks like mulligans have happened. It looks like we have a 6 from Fonzie, a 7 from for an Alchemist. It looks like a turn 1 Malcolm, which is
4 from young Scipio mulling down
a
to
4 from Scipio, which is not unlike young Scipio.
Everybody playing really fast here. You can see we go Shotgun Steam Vents, playing Mana Crypt into turn 1 Malcolm right away from Kai. Sparing no expense here, putting his Malcolm on the stack, saying, what are you going to do about it? Going into Zane's turn, we have a City of Brass as our land for turn into
left-handed Rograk.
Left-handed. Very, very important to note. Zane, a left-handed player. I don't know if that's true. I made that up.
Yeah. Doesn't feel true. No. Mana Crypt into Arcane Signet into Ragavan with an Underground Sea as the land out of Scipio. This pod all firing off very, very quickly.
Yeah, firing on all cylinders here. Not a bad 4 here. More mana development, more card advantage. Pretty good to get that Ragavan down early. We have Fonzie. It looks like we got a snow-covered forest into a Mana Crypt. Okay, everybody just has it this game.
Everybody is just crypting up this game.
Oh, Flaunty Gollum in chat saying Zane might lose this game because he entered his commanders backwards.
It's true.
This is true. Oh, Mana Crypt into Chrome Mox. What are we going to imprint with this Chrome Mox?
Something blue.
You think blue?
Yeah, we want to turn 1 Kinnan.
Let's see. That might be a bold assumption. Show me something green. I don't know. We're taking our time here. Fonzie, very methodical with their plays.
Very methodical. If he goes blue, he can get Kinnan. If he goes green, Scipio said turn 1 Trinisphere, which I don't think is going to happen, but it's certainly a thing that could happen, revealing very little about Decklists, because
this might be the longest imprint trigger I've ever seen.
Never seen one go faster. I never seen one go longer, rather.
Yeah, let's see what we decide on here. Lots of table talk and politics going on. While we're deciding this imprint here, we can talk about some really cool features here. Eminence Profiles is a new feature of the Command Tower software where you can see your win records, your win rates, and past tournament experience through your Eminence Profile. We have the Eminence Profiles of the players here at this table, and it kind of shows, you know, if you consider the average of a cedh player, right, you have a 25% chance to win every game. These profiles show you what your actual win rate is. Fonzie, overall in Eminence, has a record of 5-8-0, having a win rate of 38%.
8.5%.
Yep. Then we have young Scipio with a Eminence record overall of 3-5-3 with a 27% win rate. Kai is 2-10-0 with a 16% win rate. And we have Zane, who's 4-4-0 with a 50% win rate. So we have some big hitters here. as well as people that, sometimes perform a little bit below the average, but this pot is all winners. So already performing above the average in this event.
Kai notably posts on Twitter before every event and asks his followers what deck he should play. So his win rate might belie his Twitter followers trolling him a little bit. Like,
I think his win rate's a reflection of his fans.
Yeah,
Because maybe they like bad decks.
his fans troll him, I'm pretty sure. So yeah.
What's the Marath, right? We took a lot of Marath
Yeah,
to a lot of
Marath,
events
yeah.
last year due to the popularness of the card with Kai's
Stacks
fans.
a little tough under the timer, as we saw.
Yeah. So right into Vial Smasher right away here from Kai. That mana development really coming in handy. Being able to still have a treasure token open for some interaction down the road here. Really like these starting hands from everybody at the table here. Zane playing Rograk Silas.
Dang.
So we're gonna see here. Look at just passing the turn. This is very unlikely.
So we have, I mean, there's a lot of options for Rograk Silas. There's a lot of acceleration cards that give you benefits for sacking Rograk. So we could see something like that.
Oh, a Gitaxian Probe. That's a good hit.
That's a good hit. That's free.
I'm hoping. I'm curious here. Did Zane mull really low, or
I think Zane mulled to like 3 or 4.
So he just kept lands and cards that did things.
Yeah.
Don't show the class. It's not allowed. I'll call a judge on
they're
you.
they're okay. That's funny. They're
Don't show the class. I'll call a judge on you.
Yeah, they're resolving the Gitaxian Probe here. Scipio saying, you can just show the class. Zane saying, if you do that, I'll call a judge on you, because that's not how you can resolve that spell. So playing very much by the rules here. Now we can see Kai's hand here, because they're showing us for stream. We have a Fierce Guardianship, an Exotic Orchard, Deflecting Swat, 2 more lands, and a Thassa's Oracle. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff.
I play pretty much I play pretty much only Malcolm Vial Smasher, and I've cast Vial Smasher. I cast Vial Smasher last night, which makes it 5 times in the entirety of playing the deck.
Vial Smasher, I think, is a really cool commander, but its usefulness is very limited, dependent on the pod. In a pod like this, with both Blue Farm and like Rogsai, I think Vial Smasher ends up being really, really good here.
It's a 2/3 beater, certainly.
Well, also you get to deal damage with Vial as well, right? So it does quite a bit. Scipio
Swanty Golem in the chat saying Landlane indicates to me Zane should have been on 3, but he was on 4.
Yeah, interesting. Say we should mulligan a little bit deeper in Rogsai. Fonty Golem is actually a very seasoned Rogsai player. Yeah, so it's good insight.
One of the better ones.
Scipio's turn, we casted a Timna and then passed after swinging the Ragavan and casting the Gitaxian Probe. We got off the top of Zane's library. You can see we have a land. It looks like maybe a Forbidden Orchard and a treasure on the battlefield.
Fabricate out of Fonty with mana floating. Like this, is this what it might be? We're tutoring up an artifact to our hand, and he's gonna reveal it.
Is it Basalt Monolith? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, Adam, I don't think that we should make any predictions here, but there is a line with that card in the deck. Actually, I think it's pretty face up to the whole table that if you're fabricating here with exactly 3 mana open, you're going for Basalt Monolith. So Scipio saying, I have no interaction. I have 2 cards in hand.
It's up to Kai here, I would think, right? Because I guess Zane has 4 cards in hand now. So yeah, Zane's only been land going here. So if the table has answers, it would be on Kai or Zane. I think Scipio's not lying here when he says he only has 2 cards in hand. What are the odds of interaction there? But everybody kept such explosive hands except for Zane. Oh man, this could be really interesting. It looks like we're putting it on the stack. Kai is first in priority. Oh yeah, we knew that.
We knew that.
Yeah, we knew that was there. Oops.
And the Vile Smasher trigger. Scipio taking 3 off of Fierce Guardianship. Scipio, in playing games with young Scipio, he loses every mana crypt trigger and takes every damage effect. It's just he's a magnet for it.
Yeah, honestly, he might be better off just not playing Oz, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You just cut it, right?
Yeah, at that point, it's no use to you anyways. You're taking so much damage. Tapping 4 mana here on Kai's turn. Kai shaking his legs with Gi as we can.
Maybe he just has to go to the bathroom.
Oh, that's a good point. We have lap cam, which is a nice feature here at playing with Power Mox Masters.
Yeah. Events. Oh, lap cam is great. We should invest in lap cam for all future events. I was talking with one of the players briefly in between rounds, and they said that they deflecting spotted a peer into the abyss.
Yep. Okay, yeah, I'll take 2.
Which is a thing that doesn't happen a lot. I haven't heard about that since Peer into the Abyss was printed.
What's that?
Deflecting swat. I was talking to a player between rounds, and they were telling me that they deflecting swatted a Peer into the Abyss.
That is one of the best lines of play when a Peer into the Abyss is put on the stack.
Such a good feeling. But decks have been cutting Peer into the Abyss more and more in favor of Grim Tutor, Bolus to Citadel, that kind of thing.
Yeah. It reminds me of like when mono blue decks would Narsets reversal your Adnos rather than counter it.
Yeah.
Like it's a good feeling, but rarely does it happen. Alan from Mental Misplay in the chat saying every time I cast it gets swatted.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay, so Scipio's Ragavan trigger got Underworld Breach here.
Do we just win? I wonder what's in Scipio's hand. We don't know.
I mean, who knows? In
Looks
any
like
case,
Breach is remaining in exile by how Zane is putting the card there. But that's a huge hit to Zane's
in
list.
In any case, yeah, binking that Underworld Breach, that's not great for not great for Roxai.
Ooh, Alchemist in chat saying PETA is for hummus, not CEDH. Bold hot take in the chat. Wow. Although PETA with hummus is very good, so I do recommend it.
Crunch, there was a Gitaxian probe earlier that showed us the contents of Kai's hand, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
So, Nas on the
Natural
stack.
Crunch in the chat.
Oh no, we tutored.
Mystical tutoring for the ad Nas, which I'm supposed to now call ad Nussy.
Oh, ad Nussy, you are correct. Yeah. I forgot that the name had been errated. So this is, I'm assuming we're mystical tutoring in response to the Timna trigger on the post-combat main phase, meaning we will draw this ad Nas, but we have some mana rocks in play here. I wonder if we cast it main phase or hold on to it, because we do have 5 mana available. But do you want to? We had Get Probed Kai, so we know what the contents of Kai's hand are. Do we think we're safe to go for it here? This is the big question.
It's not high enough to be actually good.
Playing with Power MTG, our very own Ryan in the background in the chat saying, "Ad Nussy, thanks, I hate it."
Yeah, Ad Nussy, popularized by the Scry Babies, I believe.
Viral Drake with the monk. Viral Drake in the chat with the Monka TOS. We're towing the line. We won't say it anymore.
Yeah.
Mystical Tutor resolving Adnos to the top of the deck. We are going to do the
oh my gosh, okay.
We are resolving the Timna trigger, wild. Ripping the Adnos and another card. And we have
exactly
mana to cast an Adnos.
Yeah, we have 6 mana available to us.
I will give Kai a 1/1.
Oh, Kai's getting a 1/1 here with the Forbidden Orchard.
Urban Alchemist getting the 1/1.
Oh, Dark Ritual.
Okay, hey. Scipio is just.
We're gonna rip it. I think we're gonna rip it.
I'm guessing with the one counter spell coming down on the Basalt Monolith, Scipio's probably guessing that there's probably another one at the table. So Dark Rate gives them a little bit more.
Oh, but the
a little bit
Underworld
more.
Breach is
Yeah, the
still.
Underworld Breach is still exiled, so
and we
that
can
that
still
play is
cast it
live.
this
Yeah,
turn. Oh man, this is nutso.
the Dark Rate gives Scipio a little more flexibility with their mana to maybe defend their Adnos.
It also helps with a main phase Nos because you have mana after the fact. You don't have to rely so much on the free artifacts, especially when you already have your mana crypt in play. That's usually a big hit from an Adnos. But we'll see here. These are all very competent players, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see some spice coming out of somebody's hand here if Scipio tries to rip it here. But
I know.
let's see.
I mean, I know I've seen these people, all of them, kind of try to innovate in their deck list. So we're just pre-brain freezing. We just had it.
Yeah.
Okay.
After the pause.
Oh,
Oh,
it was,
what?
oh wow!
After the mystical
Young
tutor.
Scipio in the game saying after that was the second card in his deck off of the mystical tutor. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, with the two Timna triggers, we know that he put the Nas on top, and Brain Freeze is what we drew naturally.
Nas and Brain Freeze. Holy moly!
Yeah, Scipio's just like, hey guys, can I just win the game?
He's got such good top deck luck. He always has, and I love it. It's great.
Well, as I believe DJ Yavi Maya said in our
Better
first
lucky
game,
than good.
Better lucky than good, right?
Absolutely.
Not to say Scipio's not good. Scipio's really good.
Scipio is a great player, but
yes, but also luck helps quite a bit. Oh, so there's a little bit of table talk going on here saying that there might actually be a counter at the table. So I believe that Scipio has casted there's that. Yes, we sacrificed the treasure. So we already casted the Underworld Breach, which is why it's on Zane's board like that. And then we brain freeze afterwards. So Kai, the table talking like they may have a counter spell in hand. Do they save it for a Nas or whatever? And the rest of the table kind of saying, I don't think it matters. I'm pretty sure we just lose here.
I mean, unless it's exactly Flusterstorm here, I think you don't have the out, right? Fonzie tapping mana.
Flusterstorm.
Exactly Flusterstorm. Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right. The old player instincts are still working. Okay.
So here's the thing, though. We do still have mana. We have 4 mana from Scipio here, and the storm count on this Flusterstorm is Underworld Breach, Dark Ritual, Mystical Tutor, Brain Freeze, Flusterstorm. The storm count's 5 right now.
So when the I mean, he could. It looks like he could pay. Well, it looks actually has 4 mana available right now.
Ooh, and once again, we see these epic storm tokens
the epic
coming out.
Storm counters. Storm count is 5 with the Flusterstorm.
So we could pay for 4 of them. One gets countered, but then you have no mana post Brain Freeze.
Yes, we are on a very tight Brain Freeze.
And we're 1 mana short of being able to just hard cast the Nas here because we went for the Underworld Breach.
Went for the Brain Freeze first, yeah.
Yeah. If this is the only interaction at the table, I wonder if it would have been a better play.
It looks like there's another piece of interaction coming with tapped mana.
No, Zane's got a Dark Ritual?
It's a Dark Crit.
Do we have our own Nas?
Are we casting the best counterspell in the format?
So I don't want to get too crazy here, but if Scipio ends up fizzling and Zane has a Nas here, because Scipio casted the Underworld Breach, it goes back to Zane's graveyard.
Yep. But I mean, there isn't like a Savine's Reclamation in Rograk Silas, so I guess if you're on Yawgmoth's Will, but that makes it weird. Like, I think you can get it back. You can time twister it back, but
yeah. So if we look at
there aren't a whole lot of ways, but
I didn't pull up Zane's list yet. But in the term, we do have a time twister, so you can time twist your Underworld Breach back, but that's kind of a hard line.
Viral Drake in the chat. We had stacks with an X last round, and we have stacks with a CKS this round. Poggers.
Poggers.
Yeah, give us your poggers in the chat if you're enjoying this game.
Yeah, that's it. The best counter spell in the game, Adnos.
Yeah, it's the best counter spell in the game.
Yeah, that's insane. What a sandbag by Zane.
That's beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Remember when Flaunty Gollum in the chat was saying that maybe Zane should have mulliganed more aggressively? It looks to me like Zane mulliganed the perfect amount. 2 lands and an Adnos. And the perfect timing for it when no counter spells are available from the rest of the table. And look at that storm count. Wow.
Zane's gonna die to Vile Smashers. That's natural crunch in the chat.
Yep. Scipio has passed on the Adnos. Fonzie's picking up cards. Do we have something here?
Viral Drake in the chat. I think turn 2 Nas falls in the range at Flaunty Golem.
calling Flaunty Golem
Oh,
out.
and there is exactly Twister too. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing something here. There's Yogswill as well. I mean, decks like Rogsite, Warriors Oath, decks like Rogsite can very easily assemble wins and lines through Yawgmoth's Will.
Yeah.
So,
Necropotentiae, Mox Amber.
But we're hitting our biggest spells here. We're already down to 15 life.
Yeah, we're getting blasted by the 3 drops. And unfortunately that does happen when you turbo Nas.
Oh, but lots of free rocks here, lots of rituals.
So Rite of Flame, which is not, I mean, there, okay, that's not bad.
Oh, here's more
Rollick is pretty rough.
10 life here. No, Zane has to be cognizant here of the amount of damage on board.
I'm not going to give anything away here, but I know a lot of Rogside decks are on all of the big hits.
Yeah, the huge ones now.
Adnos, PETA, Citadel, all the big ones.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't think Zane has to worry too much about that kind of stuff, but it could be a problem.
So we resolved Nas and then passed.
Now there's a Flusterstorm targeting Scipio's Nas.
So I believe it's a brain freeze. Yeah. Notably, Z-Rob did flip over a deflecting SWAT in that pile of things and has a Rog Rack online. So
as well as a deadly relic, meaning that we can remove any problematic creatures. Hint, hint. A Vile Smasher that becomes a problem later on as the game progresses.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Is there any way I can do this where I get a brain freeze in here? I think there's too many copies targeting the thing now.
I think there is.
There's 4 copies of Flusterstorm on the stack. All those storm counters are post Flusterstorm being cast.
All the counters on the left are post Flusterstorm.
Yeah.
All the counters on the right are
Pre-Flusterstorm.
Pre-Flusterstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there was a way to pay to get. You can just pay 4 and get 4 copies of Brain Freeze. That's how Flusterstorm works.
I don't know. My nose is pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's up to Scipio to see the line here, but it is a thing that you can do.
It looks like the Flusterstorm has resolved, countering all of the Brain Freeze targets. So it seems like Scipio did not want to try to mill any more cards, or they did not see the line that was present there.
Natural Crunch saying Zane's playmat is so cool.
That's a funny line.
Yeah, it is. Really cool.
I mean, that's so tough if you're Scipio, because you basically have to hope that in a very limited amount of mills that you hit your LED.
Okay,
Otherwise,
so we're soul partitioning our own mana crypt here.
so I'll enter untapped.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, cool.
Oh, we're deflecting
Flexing
swatting.
SWAT, yeah.
Oh, I'm not.
It's
sure.
free.
I think it's not target, right?
Oh, this is interesting. I wonder.
And opponent, yeah.
Wonder why we would be so eager to burn the SWAT here
No.
on the Swift reconfig, unless you're assuming that
This is a soul partition.
or the soul partition. My bad. Do you see why Kai would want to do this?
Probably to keep Scipio from ritualing into 5 mana, but I don't know.
Yeah. Just knowing that Zane resolved that ad nause there, you might want to hold on to it as much interaction as you have.
Even if I hold priority on Storm, everyone's just gonna pass on it, right? Yeah, no one is stupid enough to do that.
Is especially after Zane flipping their own swap. I mean, I guess you can
Oh no, not ball one.
you can soul
curious.
partition the Rog Rack if you want to win on your own turn.
Hello? Yep.
Hey, I called it.
Oh,
to the wrong
viral Drake and Fluntigallum in the chat arguing
I have a question
about
regarding
mulligan choices. I
Uh-huh.
have an easy solution for both of you.
Am I able to
If you go to
deflect
eminence.events, there's a new article that was posted there by Matt Sperling telling you how you should mulligan in CDH.
Mm.
So if you guys want to settle that argument once and for all, you should go read that article because it's very intuitive and has a lot of insight onto the format from a pro player ranked top 25 in the world. So,
Yeah. In the top 25 elo of Magic players, yeah.
All right. And I'm out of coffee.
Oh no.
So looks like we're still on this deflecting SWAT targeting the soul partition. So
I think there is a judge in the chat right now.
do we have a judge in the chat? Hey, yo.
Can I politic into letting me get this mana crypt so I can have some interaction?
If no one else has any questions, I'm gonna pop out.
Oh, there's some politics going on at the table now. Young Scipio pleading for Kai. Hey, the only card in my hand is Adnaz. Let me have this mana crypt so I can get some interaction. Kai saying, "What's your interaction?" Scipio saying, "This Adnaz."
Yeah.
Pretty funny there.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't think that there is a way that
we politic our way into
Yeah.
5 mana here. No, I agree with you. So unfortunately, I don't think
But it'd
Scipio
only be
is-
4 mana too, so it's like
I think we should hit the Roger. I think we
it's
should hit
awkward.
It is awkward. I don't know where you get the 5th mana from, but
Oh, please. Please.
I mean, there's technically an Underworld Breach in play, right? Do we have something maybe in graveyard that enables another
There
mana?
is no Underworld Breach in play yet.
Yes, there is. Scipio casted Zane's Underworld Breach at the start of this turn.
You can
I-
cast it.
I thought it was the Brain Freeze that got cast before the breach.
No, it was a breach and then Brain Freeze.
Okay, so we have an Underworld Breach in play.
Yeah. Which is why it's presented on Zane's board like that.
Okay, but we have 2 black, so we can't recast Brain Freeze.
Yeah.
We have a
No.
Dark Writ, I guess, but that only gets us to 4 mana, which is why we were soul partitioning the mana crypt.
Oh. How many cards did we have in graveyard? 1, 2, 3.
Just
4.
4.
You know what's kind of crazy there? And we can kind of talk about this now that it looks like this line has expired.
Mhm.
But basically, Scipio, if the deflecting spot wasn't cast, could have instead soul partitioned their arcane signet
Yeah,
and then used that mana to recast the brain freeze.
just cast the Brain Freeze.
With the
yeah.
storm count being like 20,
Yeah.
which is what it's at. And that would have been enough, more than likely, to lead Scipio to winning this game.
I'm play that like that. I'm pretty sure. Because I didn't realize until
Super
later that
interesting
I had
there.
both options, like either way.
Cheetos 99 in chat. It's like, imagine telling Drake to go read up on Magic. I know it was a way to sneak in a website plug, but still.
We weren't telling Drake, we were telling the chat, but if the shoe fits.
If the shoe fits, I guess, Drake. There's
Yeah,
plenty
that's
of
a
there's plenty of
Wisconsin
things to
term,
read
right?
up on, whether Sylvan
Yeah.
Library is a good card, whether Arcane Signet is playable. There's a lot of things, that we could read up on regarding Drake specifically, but I won't go down the list, No.
Oh no. We are tapping several mana for Enon, Bonder Prodigy. No, we're casting a spell. Trying to figure out which one he's casting. Nope, that's a treasure vault as a land. So we recast Kinnan.
Nope. Putting the treasure vault back in hand.
Because Kinnan was the new target of Soul Partition, I think. So we paid all the mana to recast Kinnan. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Spiel Rahu in the chat saying, while you're there, read the new article this week. Thank you. I totally will.
Spiel Rahu's article is actually really insightful. It's about turn order advantage in cedh, and they break down Silicon Dynasty, talk about how players in first place what their advantage was, players in second place what their advantage was, and how the win rates translated into that event. And there's some really surprising statistics in there. One of the most surprising ones being that second place had the highest win percentage in the tournament if you're going in second seat. So some really cool stuff being posted there on those Eminence articles. Some really cool writers and members of the community contributing to those articles. So read up on them if you can. And read up, and you have Cal, who's been writing articles for TCG Player Direct. They did an article about Silicon Dynasty. They've done articles about the ban list and EDH and why a separate ban list would be negative for the format. You have Drake writing articles about why cards are bad in cedh. There's the amount of information out there for cedh now is just growing vastly. So a short little plug there for all these different figureheads in the community contributing to the format's growth.
I like to see in the chat that we finally have some friendship going on between Flaunty Golem and Viral Drake in the chat. Flaunty Golem saying Viral Drake and I may violently disagree on land count, but we can all come together over Sylvan Library being terrible.
Right.
Oh, we know Scipio has that.
I'm Spearler in the chat saying, I'm pretty sure Wandering Archaic wrote an article about how Drake is bad in cedh.
It did, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna time twister, right?
He's got a twister, yeah.
So the table doing a lot of talking at this point. You can see that Fonzie casted a Lotus Petal after the Kinnan, playing the Treasure Vault, correct? That's the land. And then
Treasure Vault, yes.
Yep. And now we've moved on to what I believe to be Kai's turn. Kai playing a Thassa's Oracle.
Oh no.
I mean, that's pretty good generally.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you get to scry 3 cards here.
Yeah, you get to scry 3. Well, you get to only leave 1 on top though, so it's not quite scry.
It's not the best. Yeah, you get to look at the top 3.
We're putting the Mana Crypt trigger on the stack
after during main phase.
Yes.
Taking the 3, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yep. And then,
sounds like it from the exuberance of the chat.
Yeah.
Or from the chat of the players, rather.
All right. So Thassa's Oracle looks like Zane is deadly rollicking something.
Malcolm, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if it turns
yeah,
devotion to only 2, that means Kai can only look at the top 2.
Yeah, Fierce Guardianship and SWAT are already gone for Kai, so hitting the Malcolm doesn't really do anything.
Oh, he hit the Vial Smasher.
Wow.
Oh, maybe because Zane doesn't want to die here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe Kai doesn't have the Thoracle win, but instead is casting spells to try to kill Zane.
Are we value Thoracling?
Oh, Vial Smasher roll. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, we're value Thoracling here.
I was joking when I said we would be looking at the top 3, but
I mean, let's yeah, that's wow, okay.
Yeah, I think that was the line of play there, was to try to diminish Zane's life total with Vial Smasher triggers.
Yeah.
And Zane kind of saying, hey man, I need another turn to win this game. And
Zane got the message. Yeah,
deadly rollicking the Vial Smasher there.
Fuel Lotus!
Oh, it's coming back. Is it coming back? Guys saying you can't get rid of me that easy. Zane is crossing his fingers now.
If you are you wheeling?
I think I have to twister, yeah.
You don't know though. You don't know.
So Kai can get in for combat damage here.
I can't promise
now,
twist because I don't know.
Let me make sure here.
I don't know what my top card is, right? But right now,
is it Jessica's
okay.
It's looking like a twist.
Yeah, so they're talking a little bit here. Zane feeling very pressured about his life total now. We know for sure we have 4 damage, or Malcolm is 2, so we have 3 damage on board from Kai. We We have no mana left over except for 2 treasures. We can cast a 2 CMC spell, hope that it hits, and then we can swing in and possibly eliminate Zane from the game. But it's a high risk, high reward play.
Yeah.
How many cards do you have?
If I can't do anything.
Yeah, and the table talking, very aware of the fact that Scipio still has an ad nauseum.
Trying to get Zane to say that he'll twist her.
How many cards do you have in hand, Fonzie?
Oh,
Zane saying, I can't say if I'll twist her or not, which is a classic tournament move for I'm gonna try and win instead though.
yeah, very classic tournament politicking there. You know, something that some players won't do is lie, but they will stretch the truth.
Right.
On me? Sorry. Yeah.
So it looks like we're moving to combat here, swinging the Spirit and the Malcolm at Zane.
It probably might be at Scipio. Scipio has Adnos in hand, so. And Zane is already at 5. Oh, he's gonna take it. Okay, goes.
Oh yeah,
to 2.
it's going to Zane at 2
Alright.
life now.
And then we
Oh,
just
get
have to
another treasure?
dodge a Vile Smasher trigger here.
If Kai has it in hand. Chromox.
Imprint trigger. No
You
card.
got it.
Pass.
Oh, well, notably the Vile Smasher won't trigger again, correct? Because it's card
Not
text
in
is-
this turn.
but
Yeah, but
as
in the
soon
next
as-
turn.
yeah,
Yeah.
as soon as Zane takes his turn. Natural Crunch in chat saying, ain't no way Fonzie has to be sandbagging the counter magic.
Yeah, I mean, he's looked at his hand a few times, so.
There could be some tells. Zane moving really fast here through this turn. We got Mana Crypt, we got Mox Amber. Rograk has survived, what, like 4 turns?
Rograk
at this
alive,
point?
yeah.
Yeah.
No one removing the Rograk.
Not respecting the little buddy. Let's see here if Zane can
Unfortunate.
pull out a win here. Jessica's will. Everyone has pretty low card count.
Pretty
I'm
low
assuming
card counts. I think we just
targeting
want.
Fonzie or
Fonzie has 3.
Zane. Zane or Kai is denoting that he only has 2 cards in hand now. Okay, I thought he was maybe going to cast something.
All right, so we are targeting Kai, it looks like, for 2 red. Exiling
Oh,
Dockside
a
Extortionist.
Dockside and a Mind Victor. Oh my
Holy
gosh.
moly.
This is so bad for the table. This is so bad for the table.
Wow. Wowie, wow. Wowie, wowzers.
Single tutor in the entire thing?
No, I didn't hit any tutor.
CEDH Gaming in the chat. Yelling at him. What's up, CEDH Gaming?
What's up, CEDH Gaming?
It's still like. Yeah, it's still like.
Right
yeah,
of
it's like
flame.
a
Listen,
block
Scott.
Twister, which is probably
Yeah.
like,
You are he, but Zane
you gotta write it down.
is him.
Him. Yeah, my
And right-
pronouns are he because I can never be him.
We can never be him. And right now, Zane is being him.
Yeah, no, it's
Him side, him distortionist going on right now.
Yeah, so we're ritualing. Looks like we're gonna put this dockside on the stack. Yeah, this is a huge dockside. 2 from Scipio, 4 from
4 from
Fonzie,
Fonzie.
and then at least 2 from Kai. Could be up to 5 if Kai's a
Could be up
greedy
to 5
boy.
from Kai.
I will say time and time again, Jessica's Will has proven to be one of the strongest cards in Rog size specifically for just the amount of
I'm not second my vote.
cards it enables, right? Like I've seen
Yeah.
turn 1 wins off of Jessica's Wills. I've seen, plays like this where it just gets you exactly what you need when you need it. Hitting the dockside there is just so huge. And because you have
we're not-
Rograk, which is a 0 CMC commander in the command zone at all times, it's virtually free to be running
Nobody-
your J-Will.
Nobody sacked anything.
I hope Kai has something to get a Vile Smasher trigger against Zane here.
We have so many treasures that we ran out. We had to put a 2 on one of them.
Uh-oh. We have Flaunty Gollum in the chat trying to coerce Drake into more arguments, saying, Drake, is Jessica's Will in your 98? And Alex accepted, subscribed with Prime. They've been subscribed for 10
Woo.
months. Way to go, Alex, with the Cal emoji.
JR Encarnacion saying, why is Fonzie not playing Crick in the chat? Your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, you
But
think he's a city Rust either? Well, I mean,
doing pretty good on Kinnan. Presented a pretty early win attempt and just didn't get it through. But
which is awkward. Cool.
Oh, so Crunch saying that Zane's gonna swat the Vow Smash trigger. So Vow Smash doesn't target; it's to a
Yeah.
player chosen at random. So
yeah,
like Zane just has to be one of 3 players not to get chosen off of a die flip if Kai
Yeah.
decides to go down that route, but
just
he
has to
cannot
beat
swat it.
33% odds. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh damn, Vow Smasher broken.
Like if you're Z-Rob here, you know that he flipped the twister off of Ad Nauseum. You can twister here, but you're refilling your opponent's hands. So you might get rid of Ad Nauseum out of Young Scipio's hand, but you still are refilling your opponent's hands. And
I think you have to win here.
I feel
right?
like you have to, right? Yeah.
You can't Twister's like a really we're just gonna take an extra turn. That'll do it too.
Okay, Warrior's Oath is
we could die to a mana crypt trigger.
yeah.
Oh no. Are we gonna
I think that might have been to bait out some interaction.
Oh, maybe. I sure hope so. Or I hope we die to a mana crypt trigger. It's my favorite thing in
Dying to a mana crypt trigger could be a real blast, honestly.
Ugh. Oh, but it looks
like I think it's Twister time. Tapping a City of Brass, going to 1.
Are you down to 1 right now?
You can't.
He's auto-wiring his mana crypt.
Oh, I think he's
gonna pay differently.
He's gonna pay differently because he doesn't want to tap the City of Brass. As
Yeah.
Scipio asked him, "I'm just confirming. Are you going down to 1 life right now?" And Zayn went, "Oh shit." Let's see here. The chat wants to see Zayn do the twister, but we're going to see a Reb on the or a Pyroblast.
Is
targeting-
Odawara only what Flanty Golem, what can't they do? Flanty Golem in the chat saying you can't do that.
Yep. That's not.
Pyro Bleezy? Targeting something. Kinnan.
Now he's actually Commander Tyson.
Yep.
Yeah, Spearloo in the chat saying refilling.
Oh, Jessica's Will says you can play, you can't. Yeah, okay.
Spearloo in the chat saying refilling Alchemist's hand when you're at 2 and he has 3 treasures in Smasher seems kind of sus.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And you're dumping your graveyard away. I mean, your Breach is now back in your deck, but this 7 and then the next card you draw are the last cards that you see in the game. I mean, you gotta hope that there's exactly it.
It's a lot of tough stuff because you have this Vile Smasher trigger. If the cards you have in hand aren't enough to win the game, you have a Warrior's Oath.
Yeah.
But you could die to your own Mana Crypt trigger, and then if you don't have enough to win the game, then you just die to your Warrior's Oath.
Yeah.
So Zayn is really, Spearloo. Maybe Zayn just likes making the dramatic play. I believe you're correct. Zayn does like playing to the drama. He loves the storylines. But he has the highest win rate in this pod with a 50% Eminence win rate. So maybe he knows more than we do about being a good player.
Yeah, I mean, notably with the win in round 1, that puts them to 4-4-0 in Eminence events and 6-6-6-0 overall. So.
And then for Scipio, we'll do 2 on top.
Yeah, OMG, a
He's
Fox
a good
in
player.
chat saying you're kind of priced into the twister though. If there's no way to win, you have to redraw somehow. And Spearloo responding with, "I've lost to Zayn a few times. He might be kind of good."
Yeah, he's all right.
He's notorious for taking 20-minute turns and conceding the game. So we'll figure out if this is one of those moments.
I'd like to move to the combat step.
Oh, we're moving to combat now on Zayn's turn.
Fizzles?
Now,
Okay.
Kai having so much
Fonzie,
mana
got
open
mana?
here.
Cool.
We have 4 mana if you include the Chromox.
Um,
Any instant here can take
I
Zane out of the
will
game.
exile the Simian Spirit Guide.
SSD.
Use a treasure.
So we're exiling Simian Spirit Guide, sacrificing a treasure, putting a defense grid on the stack.
I mean, that's pretty good generally.
Yeah, this is a silence, pretty much.
Pseudo
No,
silence. I think
Do y'all have interaction for
Fervent
this?
Alchemist still has the interaction
That's why I'm insane.
ability to interact.
Would you have interaction?
yeah, Kai still has the ability to cast something. The rest of the table, though, kind of getting locked out by this defense grid, kind of putting the onus on
I
Kai.
don't have any interaction for the defense grid.
Oh, Kai saying, I don't have any interaction for this, talking to the rest
Yeah.
of the table. Fonzie moving some cards around. Fonzie's been playing table police this whole game. Does he have it again for this defense grid?
Oh, my bad.
Notably, Kai saying, I don't have any interaction for this.
It has to be Force, Fierce, or
What you got for me, Fonzie?
Fonzie's
is that
got.
Chromox empty? I don't think so. I think.
Oh, Fonzie's got
Oh
something.
no!
Fonzie has to have something. What is it
Did
going to be?
Kai shuffle in the card that was imprinted on Chromox? Force a
Ooh.
negation on the defense grid.
Everyone, you guys pass on the Force of Negation?
Yeah, I'm gonna just hard cast a trap.
Yeah, this is a good
Maiden
question.
Sacrifice
I'm not sure about the
Souls.
Chromux there, Flaunty Golem. We can get some confirmation.
Kai is sandbagging. I mean, that's the way it always is. We
A lot
can't
of-
know, but
A lot of these players are very familiar with playing with a Shawnee, Jamaican dude, who we know is the king of sandbagging interaction. So, if these players have been picking up on his skills, then they might very well be sandbagging here.
Oh, this is what's happening. Wait, are we?
isn't this
No,
the
we're
same
not. We're
turn?
not on the next turn. We're not on the next turn.
This is
We're not on the
the
next
same
turn. We're
Yeah,
still
this
here,
is the
bro.
same turn.
We're still here. We're still here.
I haven't cast a spell.
Oh yeah, this is first spell. He's just
Oh, here we go. Kai casting a
God, please.
3 CMC spell, trying to kill Zane here.
oh my god, it's a 2
Is a
CMC
Cabal,
spell exactly.
Yeah, is a Cabal ritual gonna kill Zane?
Oh, that's a 5.
So Zane survives this spell. Oh my gosh. And with the defense grid resolving, that means Kai cannot cast another 2 CMC spell if
Yep.
Zane goes to his Warrior's Oath turn, which means all that Zane has to worry about is
I need to just call
surviving his
I mean, that
mana
would have
crypt
been a
trigger.
great way to die, though. Like,
Resolve.
Yeah, you're good.
It would have been an amazing way to die. You saw the entire table there freaking out for a moment.
I mean,
So
I wish.
very cool to see.
I love to see the reactions. I love to hear it in chat too. The oh my god,
Oh, okay.
What is that?
that is a plunge into darkness,
Oh man.
Free interaction,
which is
and then cast
interesting.
Your 2-drop spell next turn.
This is a instant called Plunge into
Plunge
Darkness.
into darkness.
Sacrifice any number of creatures, and you gain 3 life for each sacrificed creature. You may pay X life and look at the top X cards of your library. Put one of those cards into your hand and remove the rest from the game. You can entwine for 1 black. Choose both if you pay
Yeah.
the alternative cost.
So we're entwining, we're sacking a Thassa's Oracle to it to gain 3 life, and notably give us a chance at a reanimation spell to go for our own Oracle line again.
20 is like
I mean, we can pay X life and look at the X cards of your life. I mean,
Yeah.
how much life does Kai want to pay into this? This is interesting. I've never seen a Plunge into Darkness cast, so this is going to be really interesting to see.
Plunge is one of those cards that was really good in Food Chain back when that was an archetype that people still played.
Yeah. Yeah, Food Chain has sort of gone extinct at this point, unfortunately. So it looks like we paid 20 life into it, going from 39 to 19. Very much of the mindset, you cannot win the game if you lose, so you might as well go for it. Oh man, the problem is that the defense grid is still on the stack here, and we've already cast our 1 spell with the Vile Smasher trigger. So what can we get here to deal with Zane? And his win attempt, I don't know if there's any answers to this.
Now he's gotta decide
Except
whether
for
he
lightning
wants to
bolt.
do lightning
Mind
bolt
break trap,
or not.
lightning bolt.
Cast the
Yeah,
like he can't cast a 2-drop.
not a ton
Oh,
of answers.
Oh, that
but-
too? Okay, okay. Now you have the bounce spell. Don't bullshit me like that.
Like, and if I look at
I was
Kai's
trying to
list,
bounce it with my thing, but I can't.
yeah, and we don't even, and we know that Zane has a deflecting swat as well as counter magic. I don't think there's a way to stop the madman here.
He's
The
gotta
madman
Della-
Zane.
interactions.
Della L. Yeehaw in the chat. Didn't Defense Grid get fourth? There was a fierce guardianship targeting that force of negation, and it seems to have resolved, and now we have the Defense Grid on the stack again.
Freeze is going to exile, displacement wave, Jewel Lotus, Cyclonic Rift, land, Ox.
We're exiling a lot of things.
A lot of good things.
Ragavan,
Petition.
Gitaxian Probe, Manifold.
Kai just grimacing while naming all the cards he's having to exile here. Oh, that's funny. Kai saying he thought about taking Final Fortune and
Doesn't
trying to
have
assemble a win.
Double red though, right?
Yeah, no double red.
If the Chrome Mox has nothing underneath it.
OMG of Fox in chat saying it's time to lose the 50-50 on the crypt. I don't know if Zane even has to go to his extra turn. He's leading with the defense grid here and has so much mana available to him. He could just have it.
I gotta check.
Okay, defense grid is resolved. Now we're tapping the City of Brass going down to 1.
Chat, that particular dream is not alive. I'm sorry.
Oh, casting a windfall now that the defense grid has resolved.
We dig
Yeah.
in, fam. We dig in.
We're digging deeper.
What's the card count?
I have 7.
Yeah, Scipio has 7 cards in hand, so Zane's going to get a look at a fresh 7, pitching the 3 cards that are in his hand.
Yeah.
I'm discarding
And
a
the rest of the
face
table,
full
unless
turn, 4-4.
Kai draws into like Simeon Spirit Guide, but I mean, the Chromox is empty though. It doesn't tap for anything.
Lands and Sensei stuff.
Windfall costs 3 to cast. Defense Grid is only opponents on your turn.
Yes. Okay, we will
That would
see.
be a very bad card.
Win or bounce.
If it was symmetrical.
Yeah,
Holy
if it was
moly.
symmetrical, that would suck. Here's a Mox Opal.
It's 7, yeah.
And we still have an extra turn after this, notably.
Yep.
But I don't know if one draw will be enough.
Let me see how I can piece this together.
Oh, Zane thinking he has it, saying, and I quote, let's see how I can piece this win together. It looks like he
He
maybe
redraw
has...
Underworld Breach.
Yeah, counting cards in graveyard here.
I think that
We have Underworld Breach and a tutor. This could be an easy GG's.
You're both very smart in the chat, Sick Robot and Spielrahu.
intense stacking dockside.
Diabolic Intent Sacking Dockside is pretty good.
My screen kick, yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Diabolic Intent. This is... We're going for it. We're piecing together a win. Zane showing all players how you should conduct your turns when you're winning the game. Moving very quickly here, not thinking too greatly about it. Moving very
Mean
fast.
Betrayal post Adnos, post Windfall is pretty okay. Demonic Tutor.
There's a Thassa's Oracle. There's some rituals.
Thassa's Oracle, some rituals, a Demonic Tutor.
There's some mystical tutor, so you could technically piece a win together here. But I don't know if Zane wants to go that route. He might go the safer Underworld Breach route if he can get there. Underworld Breach, cast Diabolic Intent again, go get Brain Freeze and try to win that way. I don't know.
I feel like Mean Betrayal would win here, but
Oh well, does no because he time twisted, so Scipio's Brain Freeze isn't in.
it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Threshold, right? Would you guys like to scoop to this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, so Zane putting the Mimicha on the stack and asking the table, do you guys want to just scoop to
You guys
this?
know that
And the
I'm
table unanimously.
And there's a Grim Tutor in hand, so the table
Yeah.
agreeing to.
Yeah, the table unanimously
Give
go.
up.
Yeah, I'll scoop to
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that seems good.
I mean, it was on 4.
Wow.
The cluster
Yeah.
Nice.
I think
Very
a-
cool. Way to
What a
take
cool
it down.
way to get there with one life and an extra turn if we needed it. But
No, you
Let's
don't
able to
see.
piece together the win there with 2 wheels. You know, a few days ago, there was a big discussion in the Turbo Discords about if wheels are card advantage. And when you look at decks like Rogsai, I think very much you can consider wheels and wheel effects like Time Twister and Windfall card advantage for decks that just can consistently pull wins out, especially if you're running cards like Defense Grid and silence
Absolutely.
effects like that. I think there's no argument there to say that these pieces don't act as card advantage for decks like this. Because if I'm drawing 7 better cards than you are, well, then I have card advantage.
Right. If your cards are better on the whole, it's card advantage.
Yeah, and then there you go, Zane showing off Rograk. Rog is Pog.
Rog
and
is
don't
Pog.
forget it.
Okay, excellent. So, in summary, Wheels good? Question mark?
I think Wheel's good. Yeah, in summary.
Wheels good? How many did we cast in that game? A bunch of them? 2?
At least 2 on the same turn. So,
and another thing that we can learn from that event is always take your time when you're sequencing your turns. Don't slow play, but take your time, make the correct decisions, and sequence properly so you don't get blown out. There was a lot of interaction in that pod, which was really nice to see. And the old cedh adage, the first person to go off generally doesn't win the game, came true when Fonzie put the Basalt Monolith on the stack. Adam, what were your takeaways from that round?
I mean, not only did the first player that went for it not win, but neither did the second player when we watched Scipio go for the Underworld Breach Brain Freeze line there.
Yeah.
So really biding your time. My takeaway from this is one thing specifically. Even if you are the fastest deck at the table, you do not need to be the fastest to attempt a win.
Yeah.
Rogsai being a turbo deck, Zane had the ability to go for an Adnaz as early as he wanted, but instead he sat on it, waited, and bided his time and played patiently. I think that's something that happens a lot in cedh, specifically with players and events, is they don't want to be patient. They want to win, get the win out there and get it out of the way. When honestly, if you just wait for your windows, they will present themselves. Your opponents will give you the opportunity to win. And if you jump on that opportunity, it's the best for your odds, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Zane, we talked about having a 50% win rate at Eminence events. Zane just won the first 2 games of this event.
Higher than 50% now.
He's much higher than 50% now. And so patience is really key. And I think it's really good for newer players into the format and just people in general to see how that pays off.
Yeah.
And Zane doing an exceptional job of showcasing how even being the fastest deck at the table, looking for windows is more important than jamming a win.
The moment that the game really turned over, in my opinion, is the moment where Zane convinced the table that letting his ad nauseum resolve was the correct thing to do. If you can do that in the pod, you have already won the game. Really good heady play, really good game between 4 very good players. Good to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rogsai pulling out a win.
And we know now that Zane won that match, but if we go to the match reporting, we can see
we have so many.
Yeah. So let's see if there's any players that
we have Connor winning another pod.
Alex accepted winning another pod.
Liz B winning their second pod. Big Richie taking pod number 2. Alex did not win their second pod. Big Richie took it for pod number 2.
I'm sorry. It's
you gotta refresh the page.
The times are messed up. Yeah.
So Big Richie, Connor winning a second game. Subjective Reality winning a second game.
Cypher from Commander and Coffee winning their pod.
Whoa.
Yes, Zane winning there, and then I believe it's Alice SK.
Alice Day SK winning a game. Hellenium Gaming winning pod number 22.
Hey.
Shiver winning pod number 30. Sulon Carrot 29. Brian Berger 26. MA6 winning pod 25.
Did you know that Hellenium Gaming is a part of this content group called the Spell Seekers? I had never heard of them before.
I had never heard of them. Do they do content?
I I don't know. That's a good question. They just
Oh,
all
okay.
have this thing called the spell seekers in their bios. So I was just curious about it.
It was beautiful.
But yeah, that was a really good game to witness there. I was honestly really impressed with that win there, and most of the table presented some type of line to win there.
Absolutely.
But yeah. So I think that we have a lot more time left in this round. So we're probably going to pick up on another game here, and get into that.
All right.
Okay.
So
But
we're gonna pop to a quick break. Then we will do some switcheroonies, and we'll be right back. Please stay tuned in, and also stay tuned in for the time between the semifinals and finals for an amazingly large, big announcement from the Playing with Power folks. Put it on your calendars.